Hi everyone, I'm Lori Polina and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's video is entitled The Event, Explained and Unveiled. And it is a special video for me because I'm sharing an art project I did years ago that foretold of the event and actually shows the sequential unfoldment of it in 100 graphite drawings. I have it in book form here, and I have a website, loripolina.com, which is going to be in the description box below that you can go to, and you can click on the images there. They blow up to a larger size, and there's text that accompanies that. And also today's manuscript will be available on my soulselfawareness.com website under the blog header, and there will be images that accompany today's video there. For those that just want a 1, 2, 3 answer to an extremely complex idea, the event is a correction in the universe that is sent out as a pulse every so often. Let's say in this current subject matter, it's every 24 to 26,000 years. And I drew a little picture here, but it's as if Source sends out a pulse every so often to get everything into harmony. And these hearts are planets that are within the frequency of love. And then we come to our planet, which is basically a planet under construction. And what I mean by that is the planet is a life-giving force, and it is housing in material form all of the population that has free will. And with the higher self as sort of the nursemaid, it is grooming us to come into alignment with the love that's in the rest of the universe. But we're given a material form and a free will to build a collective consciousness like a child in a womb to grow a capable force in the universe of creation. And here's a close-up of what the earth is the individuation, which means everyone is separate, material realm. And it's a petri dish, and what it's growing is it's growing our creator being status. In other words, we are capable of actually creating within the material realm in a connected form to the source itself. And we're given free will, and that sharp edge is basically the service to self agenda. And service to self agenda is basically what individuation is. To be separate, to come into material form, we need to see ourselves as separate, and also be able to choose to be united. And so we're all being grown by this higher self. Maybe we could call it an amniotic sac of nourishment, and it is slowly growing our collective conscious embryo, which is a force unto itself of a collective of love. And once we get to the level that we are ready to become a living and functioning focus, then this wave, those are the waves from the other drawing, that pulse or wave is sent out to cause our birth. Okay, so that's the quick explanation, and now I'm going to just read the manuscript, which is a lot more in detail, along with photographs that represent the project itself. The event explained and unveiled. As a preface to my channeled drawings and the information they brought forth about the event, Let me take a moment here to describe the unfolding sequence of humanity's planetary birth into a new dimension that they foretold. From there, I will give a brief history of the event and then an unveiling of the images that were brought forth through my process of automatic drawing. And this is more in depth of those drawings I showed you. Imagine, if you will, planet Earth's atmosphere as a life-sustaining celestial womb. Also imagine Source, or Prime Creator, apportioning some of its light energy to grow a physically tethered embryo of consciousness in this celestial body's atmosphere. Each separate spark of divine light energy, or cell, of this planetary embryo would be assigned a guardian or higher self to nurture and guide it with love. The aim of this guidance would be to help it transcend its individuality in order to harmonize with all of the other assembled cells in this atmosphere of consciousness. As the embryo develops, each cell must work its way, along with the others, through the darkness of their environment or soil towards the light. When this conscious collective's gestation period reaches the moment of its birth, a pulse of love light is emitted from Source, or Prime Creator, that exposes and inducts the assembled body into its new environment. Instead of the umbilical cord of the higher self, it is now solely reliant on fifth dimensional love light, as a newborn is to air. That pulses the event, the child is humanity, and each cell is an individual human soul. I have now come to a visceral understanding that we, as humans, are primarily individualized aspects of Source energy, preparing, focusing, and cultivating our free will in material form, by the guidance of our souls, to eventually choose to commit to the cosmic agenda of love and compassion. Humankind has been coached and cultivated by our soul, or higher self, over many incarnations, to the point that we are now ready, or not, to withstand the rising tide of frequency shifts that will compromise our physical density. The unifying approach of a cosmic wave is causing us to now respond and align in ways internal and external to a compassionate awakening of global proportions. This cosmic event, or what echoes as the flood, will occur this time as an energy wave, and our hearts, or our capacity to love, will be the ark that houses our consciousness in material form, albeit a higher frequency, fifth dimensional form. The event or flood of cosmic proportions is where the full capacity of cosmic love will draw humanity into a new dimension in a wave of light. This moment of fertilization will seed our hearts with an aligning force of unified yet individualized focus, harmonizing us to move forward as one. I am now witnessing a grassroots effort of spiritually awakened forerunners grounding the ramping cosmic frequencies and helping transmute the darkness being purged from the lower dimensions we are feeling within our bodies. This awakening of our consciousness and DNA to these increasing source codes are allowing a paced but steady escalating shift from carbon to crystalline base, and is orchestrated and uniquely synchronized to the innate challenges these shifts demand of each person. While human awareness has been programmed for millennia to respond to the old paradigm of divisive and distracting focuses, these co-opting energies are fading as cosmic pulses amplify and renovate our conscious landscape as this wave approaches. The younger generations, while being distracted by the old paradigm, are in truth aligned to the new. Just below the surface of their seeming facade are a legion of heart-centered souls ready for this shift. While this is an incremental advance, we will reach a tipping point sooner than we think, and its orientation will be this galactic wave, or what some call the event. Cloaked in mystery, spoken of in ancient texts, and now synonymous with prophecy, the event can be seen as a rolling cosmic wave from source to deliver the birth of a planet of conscious beings to willingly enter a higher dimension and paradigm of love and compassion. In Hindu metaphor, this process is described as the great breath of Brahma, which creates and destroys worlds in a continuous cyclical rhythm. The Mayans portray this cycle and the implied event in their calendar's end, as do other cultures around the world. These cycles referred to here are very far apart, but the 24 to 26,000 year gestation period is what the current event is foreshadowing, making its exact timing difficult to predict. All cultures see some form of this event resulting from a period of growth and correction. However, we are now in the window of time it is predicted to occur. There is a contemporary reading of this occurrence in the example of chaos theory. When a system reaches a peak in complexity, it doesn't fall into chaos, but gives way to a self-organizing principle that allows it to spontaneously leap to a simpler and more efficient level of functioning. And this is how evolution occurs. I find the chaos theory most aligned to my understanding according to the channeled visual sequencing of the 100 graphite drawings of my artistic project. That project, which I am describing here today, was in retrospect an instructional experience as to the sequence of the event, in that its mystery and structure continue to accommodate these concepts 10 years later. The project consists of 100 large drawings that were forged from my method of drawing and erasing graphite in rhythmic response to music. To the uninitiated, this channeled sequence of orbs and their environment mimic the souls that have continuously seeded the surface of the earth. This sphere or globe houses the gestation of separate beings working their way through the darkness of their conscious evolution. We are now at such a legion as to form a grid of consciousness ready to be birthed into the light of the cosmos. This sequence is illustrated in my drawings, which go through a complete metamorphosis from dark to light or black to white, and can be read in either direction. I point this out because it resonates with mankind's descent from light to darkness, or seen today as the evolutionary gestation of our darkness in its return to light. As we begin examining this descent into darkness, or material form, with the earliest of the orb drawings, they are dense and depicted at close range. As the drawings progress, the orbs or souls journey grow lighter within their individual interiors. And are depicted at mid-range as they expand to reveal more orbiting configurations as societies are formed. As the drawings progress towards the end of the sequence, new and larger shapes appear and far-range constellations are formed with the advent of many new arrivals and larger groupings. As if foretelling the doubling of our population. As if foretelling of the final stage, the total coverage of the globe's embryo of human consciousness. There comes a moment, a pause in this continuous expansion of population, which gives us way to the inhale of the new cycle of contraction or convergence of separate bodies as they unify into a seeming whole resembling a mosaic grid. At this point, the individual thought orbs that were separated by black are gathered as one as they experience the renovating galactic wave or foretold event. And this suspended moment between expansion and convergence, or shall we say contraction, is the moment of birth, humankind literally being conceived in love. It is from here we see, as this moment recedes, the circuitry of human consciousness eventually works its way free of its mosaic structure. Working its way free of its scaffolding or outer definition, now free, the thought orbs leave behind their structure and go to a blossoming of their interiors into a harmonious transcendence beyond separation. Here, what once was the interior of separate spheres are now revealed as a new unified realm of freedom, unbridled and orchestrated by their inner fulfillment of our unique attunement to our heart in harmony and concert with all other souls. So I see this event as a resting of a brief period for each soul as we are conceived in a wash of love, allowing us to shed our encasing ego structures. As it recedes, we can begin to function from the heart, centered in the rhythm of a common theme, love and compassion. While this frequency will shift our physicality to a lighter form, it is my sense we will still remain intact and sovereign. From there, we have a world to repair and make sustainable, and then on to join the rest of the cosmos. So I hope this has helped to frame this event in an understandable form, and I may talk further in other videos on the subject. If people have more questions, feel free down below to write questions or share your comments or your thoughts. And I would appreciate if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. And also I give talks and I also give counsel to people through Skype. So feel free to reach me through my soulselfawareness.com website. And I will see you soon in our next video. Have a great holiday season and a wonderful and bright beginning to 2019. Take care and remember to breathe.